Saturday morning. It is July the 27th. It's time for coffee talk. It's also, see, if I was smart, I would get this out beforehand so that it wasn't chaos, but I don't think about it until I start. All right. Good morning, everybody. It's time for coffee talk on a Saturday morning. Beautiful, beautiful start to the day. Boy, do we have some stuff to talk about. We've got local storms, we've got tropical stuff, and I'm going to have you covered. Let's start off with a live look over at the Kennedy Space Center. Had Falcon 9 return to flight this morning. First flight in a while since an anomaly kind of triggered an FAA shutdown. The good news is that launched with no problems overnight. We've got another one scheduled, by the way, for early tomorrow morning. All right, let's keep in Brevard County, see what's doing over at the ports. Sun is shining bright. New Smyrna, are you working? Let's see. Saw it went down. Maybe it's back. Oh my gosh, how pretty is that? Yeah, it's back. Just a couple of clouds over top. Let's head inland, see what's doing. There is Disney Springs looking good. Orlando International Airport looking good. Downtown Orlando checking in, looking good. Tavares. Yeah, it's a pretty morning. Ocala, definitely a pretty morning. All right, let's take a look at temperatures across Central Florida. We've climbed into the 80s in some spots, upper 70s in others. It is. You gonna go? Hello? I'll wait. Don't worry, computer. It's not like we're not waiting for you. Oh, glad to see you could join the party. All right. Apparently, I'm not the only one that needs some caffeine. All right, 78 in Orlando. 75 degrees in DeLand, 75 in Ocala. So you're looking pretty good. Those temperatures slowly coming up little bit by little bit. They'll continue to come up from here. I think that we're quiet this morning, but we'll get feistier later on. Here's first warning live Doppler radar, and you can see some storms up near Cedar Key. That's not going to bother us, but what will is going to be showers and storms later this afternoon, feeding on heat. So here we are, low to mid 90s for our daytime highs today. I think we're getting into a situation where we'll have plenty of storms this afternoon, though. All right, and that's why we're going with impact weather for the afternoon here. Let me lay it out bigger for you. Not that I don't think you can see on that half screen, but this is built for full screen. All right. Around 2, 3, 4 o'clock, we start to popcorn up some rains, but 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, we're going to have widespread showers and thunder showers. All right. 70% coverage of rainfall. So it's going to get to be a little feisty this afternoon. Let's take a look at Futurecast. We'll see what it's going with. Brand new model run came in mid-morning. And here you go. So popcorning up 2, 3 o'clock. Widespread stuff really getting going 6, 7 o'clock, 7, 8 o'clock, stronger stuff out west. And then by 9, 10, 11 o'clock, it'll gradually try to fade out. All right, so that's kind of where we're at for today. Impact weather because of the higher coverage of showers and thunder showers today. All right. Sound good? A lot of you are in here this morning, and I'm sure it's not just our local forecast that people are interested in. It's the tropics, and definitely want to post it. Pat M says, spicy model run you shared this morning. Yeah. All right. So I guess I'm probably thinking that most of us are interested in the tropics. So we'll get to that. Bandcamp is approaching. Marching nights will be bigger than last year. 40 sousaphone players. Holy cannoli. That's wild. All right. So, local forecast including a 70% coverage of showers and storms, but I'm sure most of you are here wondering what's going on with the tropics. So let's get right to it and just kind of discuss, okay? Tropically speaking, right now, there's nothing. There's nothing. There's a couple of areas of clouds out over the open Atlantic waters. But the Hurricane Center has highlighted this one feature as having a 30% likelihood of forming over the next 7 days' time. That number has gone up this morning. It was 20%. And I would add, I suspect this number to continue to go up and up and up over the next several days' time. Why? Because the models are now more and more into trying to develop this, okay? So we're going to look at all the different products here and try and keep you up to date on it, okay? But I wanted to start here and ask any questions on this surface so far before we go in, okay? Cindy's asking, should I anticipate a flight delay in my flight that's supposed to arrive around 10:45 tonight? When you're pushing 10, things back up pretty quickly. So yeah. Annie, do you have a new desk? No. Whenever we've got anybody doing any practice newscasts in the studio, I like to stay out of the studio because I can interrupt them. And I want to give them their time in the studio. So I'm actually sitting at Sonica Donge's desk, which, Sonica, if you're watching, I don't think I'm making a mess, but if I am, I apologize. Not that messy of a person. Just threw my laptop down here, but I digress. So, all right. So, tropically speaking, this feature is what we're watching right now. So let's get right into it. We're going to get into some of the more raw models here. And I'm going to keep it fairly zoomed in because, at this point, we're still way early, but it's worth at least looking. So let's just roll through. This is the GFS. This is this morning's GFS run. Notice around Puerto Rico here, this is going to be Wednesday night, Thursday morning, something of a storm system near Puerto Rico, kind of hugging the northern shoreline there of Hispaniola, hugging the northern shoreline of Cuba, and then trying to, interestingly enough, develop and stay real tight over the Keys and come in around the Big Bend. All right, that would be next weekend. So that'd be a week from now. All right, so it's not that far out in terms of timing, but it is there. All right, so let's just look at the winds. And according to so this is the wind gust swath map to kind of show where it would go. And based on the wind gust swath, we're looking at more than likely, it looks like a little hurricane on the West Coast. According to the GFS, max winds about 100 or so miles an hour. All right. So if we were to back this up, kind of show it weak, getting into its stride around the Florida Straits, and then making landfall somewhere around the Big Bend. Obviously, I don't love this. Okay. I have a former colleague who used to lick people's desk. What? Don't even know what to say to that. I'm just going to go back to the tropics because, believe it or not, the tropics are less terrifying than that, and that's saying something. All right, so that's the GFS. Do not love that. Now, why am I showing you this? I'm not trying to hype, not at all. I'm just sharing data with you. I want to make sure you understand. Oh, wrong button. I want you to understand that's where we're at. Just sharing data. All right. So that's the current GFS. Let's go back out to the wider view and let's go back a model run. All right, last model run. This is the 0Z. Showed something trying to form and then become a hurricane or a strong tropical storm as it's trying to make landfall around like the mouth of the Mississippi. That's the 0Z. If we go back to the 18Z, trying to do something but back over toward like Texas, Louisiana. If we go to the 12Z yesterday, kind of didn't do much of anything. All right. So this is the current run of the GFS. Don't love that. Small storm, but it's trying to develop a hurricane. All right. With GFS, of course, we've got the GFS ensembles. And what's particularly interesting is that the GFS ensembles are still running, but you don't have a ton of ensemble support. You've got like one ensemble member trying to throw a storm out east of Florida, whereas the operational GFS is bringing something to the West Coast. So, this is one of those moments where you say to yourself, like, okay, obviously we're super early. We just have to watch and see how this plays. Okay. All right. Too early to tell much other than GFS operational showing something. One GFS ensemble member is showing something. So that's not a huge agreement within the GFS. It's something to watch. All right. That would shove a ton of water into the bay, my brother says. Yes, it would. That's not an ideal thing. Honestly, if it hangs that tight, maybe it wouldn't. But it's too early. So at this point, just something to watch. Oh yeah, we could look at the other GFS ensembles. So let's look at the GFS. That's the 6Z. If we go to the 0Z, there's definitely more ensemble support. but not too strong. But there's definitely more. If we go to the 18Z, there's less ensemble support. If we go to the 12Z, if I can hit the 12Z button, there's some ensemble support, but not a ton. So the GFS seemingly is shifting more and more into this idea of having something, all right? All right, let's get over to the European. The European, the problem is that the current run, the 6Z, only goes out 90 hours. So that's the latest. So I have to go back to the 0Z Euro just to be able to go any further. There's the European, bringing together some sort of a storm and then keeping it east of Florida. All right, now in terms of wind, it would be probably a strong tropical storm here, and then becoming a hurricane like due east of us, and then recurving and staying out to sea. So different-ish scenario. If we go back from the 00Z to the 12Z Euro, 12Z Euro didn't really show anything. So there's definitely a more bullish approach on the more recent on the more recent runs. If we swap over and look at the European ensembles, all right, there's definitely ensemble support. Look at that. Definitely ensemble support. And at this point, I think that the Euro ensembles really do show the best idea here, which is we don't know where something's going to go, but there's probably going to be something to watch. Okay? So from about the Gulf to the outside of the Bahamas, a week or so out, from now. Terry, which scenario are you leaning toward? This image right here on the screen, I think, is really good, showing the European ensemble members varying from the Gulf of Mexico to about the Bahamas. And I think that that's about the best way to look at it right now, okay, is that something is going to try to develop as it approaches the southeastern United States. But it's too early to get into the weeds of where something could go, but rather it's a perfect time to say models are starting to hint at some things, right? So to that point, we really do need to watch. Now, I will say that this is going to fall into a timeline that I've outlined. That, for example, that's August the 4th. Okay, that's August the 4th. If we look at our long-range computer forecast model product, we had discussed the Gulf to Carolinas low being this feature that would probably impact the Gulf, kind of move across the peninsula, and then impact the Carolinas. We've seen it play out several different times. Notice August 5th through the 12th is our timeline. That's around August 5th. All right. So it fits the pattern. We just kind of have to wait and see exactly how this plays out. Still far too early to get into any weeds on this, but I want to make sure that you're aware that that there's some interesting things there. Brian, can you explain ensemble support? Sure. So what you're looking at, for example, that's the European ensemble. The European runs about 100 different flavors. I call it 100 flavors of Baskin Robbins. But think of it as the European run 100 different ways, subtle differences. So it lets you know even within a computer model how how confident it is. So the European is like, we're going to see something. The GFS is a little weaker, thinking, maybe we'll see something. So to this point, I think the European is really going in on it. Yesterday, this was different, and tomorrow this will be different. So each day there's going to be differences. So at this point in time, it's super early in this process, super, super, super early in this process, but it's just something to watch. Okay, here's an interesting way to look at it. Let's do this. Let's look at the operational European and the operational GFS next to each other. Okay. Blobs of moisture, just for oversimplification. So this is Friday, August 2nd, my son's birthday. God, I hope that we don't have to get into hurricane coverage. All right, so August 2nd, Friday, 5 p.m. On the left, the European has some sort of, you see that like yellow dot? That's some sort of a tropical system just outside of the Bahamas, whereas on the right-hand side, the GFS has some sort of a tropical system riding along the northern shoreline of Cuba. All right, let's continue through time. This is Saturday morning. This is about 7 days from now. All right. On the left, the European has that same storm system up across the northern Bahamas, but just outside, whereas the GFS still riding along the Cuban coastline. All right. This is 7 p.m. Saturday. So a week from tonight, the European has some storm system basically due east of Palm Beach County, whereas the American GFS has some sort of a storm system right over like the middle and lower Keys. All right. Then through time, you end up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. Storm system due east of Florida on the European. Storm system riding just offshore of Naples, Fort Myers on Sunday morning. And then from there, coming ashore somewhere around the Big Bend, 10, 11 o'clock on the GFS, whereas the European kind of just takes it and recurves it and does its thing. So again, this is super, super, super early in this process, so I don't want anybody dialing into any specificity whatsoever at all. I'm showing you the models just to give you an idea of kind of what they're looking at because we're going to be looking at them a lot. There's going to be some meteorologists that are going to say, well, I just don't think we should be sharing models this time. It's too early. Cool, got it. But also, I'm sharing it so that as we see shifts in the models, we can understand what the models are going with. And it's my job to do it. It's my job to share the weather with you. If you don't like that as a meteorologist, feel free. Go somewhere else. I'm certainly not doing it to hype it. I could say there's a category 6 that's going to hit us. That'd be hypey. Instead, I'm just saying this is what the models are showing. They're indicating formation. They're indicating that Florida may be kind of in the vicinity. So let's watch the tropics, right? That's where we're at. That's what we need to be doing, okay? Also, models are guidance, not gospel. So we'll share it, we'll watch it, we'll track it, we'll be good to go. All right? Okay. As Mickey on YouTube says, we've seen this scenario many a time. We'll see what happens. That's it. We'll see what happens. Got plenty, plenty, plenty of time. All right. Doesn't the Bermuda High also control where it goes? Yes. So Joanne, 100% it does. Last year, we saw a weaker Bermuda High. So these storms loved recurving and staying out to sea. The reason that this year's a little feistier, at least in terms of concern, is because the stronger Bermuda High wants to push things closer to us. We said in March on our WESH 2 hurricane season forecast that the Gulf of Mexico would absolutely, absolutely be more apt for tropical impacts this year. Because of that, I saw that in March. Frankly, saw it January, February, but we published our hurricane forecast in March. So, you know, we knew that this was going to be that overall idea, which is why here we go. We're starting to track storms, and there's a little bit more of the heightened concern for that. So, yeah, Joanne, the answer is absolutely it is. Terry says, I choose to believe the Euro. Just a toss up, I guess, as to which side of Florida. Florida's not that wide, and we have plenty of time to watch. And I could tell you this, the models are going to go back and forth like 1,000 times. That's just what they do. That's just what they do. Yeah. James is fearmonger. I know. I know. I know. Jesus. The Outlaws drove up here. North Carolina from South Florida may drop some hints, but I don't know if this will make them leave early or not. Oh, that's funny. I appreciate you sharing early. Listen, Lisa, I'm going to share data, and I will share data. I always laugh, though, when there's some of these people in my business that are like, you can't share the data. That's irresponsible. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll take that into consideration. Meanwhile, you can hide the model data from your fans, from your audiences. That's fine. That's fine. You hide the information, I'm going to share it. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, wibble wobble. That's right. Taylor says it's time for the wobble. Well, and that's just the way it goes. Models are going to sway this way, they're going to sway that way, they're going to do their thing. Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Taylor says the trolls can pound sand. It's true. It's true. This is funny. Jeannie says, I can no longer joke about Denellen because data. Yeah, we're not gonna joke about Denellen for a couple of 7 days or so. Betty says, thank you for your honesty. Have to be aware something is brewing. We live in TV, but visiting in New Jersey and following you. Titusville? Got it, Betty. Okay, got it. Isn't hurricane season? Should we always be on watch? 100%, yeah. Mickey says, I just looked at the current CMC and it's on board as well. Yeah, I guess we should look at that. I don't know why I always forget to not to post, but to like zero in on the Canadian. All right, for the sweet Canadians. Standby. Pressure. Here's the gem. All right, so there's the gem showing something forming, but notice the gem is much further out to the west. Weaker goes west. So, TV is the villages. Didn't know that. Never heard it called TV. Huh. So the gem wants to take something further out west, but the gem is showing something, right? So there's that. If we look at the Canadian ensembles, here's the CMC ensemble. Yeah. But you can see the ensemble members are showing support, not as much as the European, but the ensembles are showing some support. So yeah, I mean, definitely looks like something could try to form. I'm going to take that, Texas. I hope not. I hope that this can just stay out to sea, right? Brian, media people withholding information that never look. I could just tell you I am not going to withhold information. I always love when tropical systems threaten and people will text me and be like, "So what's the deal? What are you not telling everybody?" And it's like, or when people will like message my wife and they're like, "So what's Eric saying? What's Eric saying?" And I'm always like, I just talked for an hour on the social channels. Why the heck would I hold stuff back? If you know me, I don't hold stuff back, personally or professionally. As there are members of the West 2 team like rolling eyes. You know I don't hold stuff back. You know.
This guy bites his tongue so much.
Yeah.
He's playing tough.
Love those glasses, man.
Thank you. Yeah, they take photos. Yeah.
Okay, that's only a little creepy.
Yeah, so like when he is like yelling at me, I can record them now.
That's terrifying.
Get this guy off the set. Yeah, it happens. But we
Have
love
I ever said get off the set?
yeah. Have a great Saturday, everybody.
Wait,
What?
you just drop a bomb like that? I've never said get off the set.
No, he's never had. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, but he is not afraid to speak his mind.
Darn right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And when you know that.
Are you recording right now?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I can live stream from these.
Shut up, Kate. Really?
Here, let me just show you. This is not an ad, guys. These are Meta Ray-Ban glasses, okay? And they are recording.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll show you their first. Yeah, these are amazing. And they turn the shade, so transition.
Shut up. Do they really?
They're coming back. Transition lenses are coming back. So don't be discouraged. Grab some. But yeah,
it's terrifying. I love that though, actually.
Yeah. What are folks in the chat saying?
Oh man, probably.
I know.
I've fallen way behind. We all love snarky Eric. I mean, I'm snarky.
He is a snarky guy. You are snarky.
But I do love when people are like, so what's really going to happen with the tropics? It's like, bro, why would I talk for an hour withholding stuff?
Right. Yeah. You got to be snarky when you do weather because everybody's coming at your life all the time.
Dude.
And you can't control the weather. Yeah.
Your hurricane forecast 6 months ago didn't say this. I didn't say it was magic. It's a forecast.
It wasn't magic. What was that, last year?
I mean, we're trying, but it's not like it's going to be perfect. Yeah. When I said that I was going to be a good husband and father, didn't mean I was going to get it out of the park every day.
But you do, though.
Nah, ask some people. Okay. Trying. It is all subjective. But good gravy. Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. I'll let you get to work. Cheers. Have a great Saturday, everybody.
Never kicked you off the set. But I do speak my mind. I've only ever said nice things. That should say something. You're a decent human and a decent colleague to work with. He's not just decent. Dude's the salt of the earth. You withhold stuff just to tease. Yeah, but in a tease setting, not in like the talking. Jeez Louise.
Coffee talks are getting wild.
This train flies off the tracks. I'm serious. There are days where I'm like, how I haven't gotten fired for coffee talk yet? I don't even know. Man. Bottomless mimosa talk. Oh my God. Let's see here. Hope all my coffee talk peeps. Hey, see you, Frank. Um, do I have to cancel my cruise for Thursday? I'm not telling I'm not telling you to cancel anything. Right now we're just sitting back and watching. All right. Anyway, he's so sweet. I say he's decent just to be a putz. He is literally one of the greatest people. This group is great. This group is great. Whoever said he holds stuff back needs a real education. I mean, right? Yeah. If they saw our text chain, they would know you never, we don't hold anything back, Frank. All right. Yeah, snarky and nerdy. Exactly. So, okay. Questions about the tropics. All right. We definitely are going to have to watch these next couple of days, right? We'll be doing the coffee talk. We'll be doing the tracking the tropics. And something tells me Jeremy and I are probably going to do a little more tracking the tropics this upcoming week. Yukon says he saved a person in a hurricane. Of course, he's great. Darn right. Darn right. That's him. You're a millennial. You can get away with that. It's funny. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? Yeah. Erica, I'm flying to the Dominican on Thursday for 6 days. Will it be a total washout? I mean, I would say that there could be some bumpy-ish weather late week. Yeah. Aguay is asking, will the front stalled over the southeast have any effect on steering? At this point, there's way more questions than answers. Yeah, I mean, certainly it could. Certainly it couldn't. What, you're not magic? I thought you were waving that magic wand controlling weather. Yeah, yeah. What do people, harp? That's what they call it, right? I text you right after this and ask about everything you just talked about just to be a putz. Ay, Gewalt. Love keeping up with the tropics. Of course, Olga, of course. Thank you, by the way, at the beginning with the computer reminded me of Star Trek 4 and Scotty with the Macintosh. Where's this is Sonica's mouse. Computer. Kurt says, so Central Florida's fine. I'm not going to say anybody is or isn't. It's just too early at this point. We'll watch. Yeah. Packing my bags to go tarping next. I hope not. Yeah, Tiffany says it right. Like, just wait and see. Exactly right. Tony Manolfi, you need to watch this feed. Someone has to accuse Eric of holding stuff back when he's not and needs a real education. Listen, if there's one thing that Tony does, Tony gives me just the right amount of sass back. Tony and I just sass each other. Yeah, that's all it is. You mean you don't have the power to see the future? I know. We do the best we can. We look at the computer models. And for those that are asking about our FutureCast model, I know I saw a couple of people asking. I'll just show you FutureCast as far out as it goes. It doesn't go out far enough. All right. So 6Z FutureCast. I'm just going to run it as far out as it goes. Yeah, it's not going to be far enough out. Yeah, it goes to what, like Tuesday? Yeah. So that's where we're at. And I think the 0Z is going to be the same thing. Yeah. So Tuesday's as far out as it goes. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we've got like 4 days or so until FutureCast is really going to start initializing this. We've got I've got the models in position and ready to go, but they're just not ready. So, we'll watch, we'll track, it's the time of year, my friends. We knew this was in the hurricane center or in the hurricane forecast I put out, right? All right, let's see here. If psychics are a real thing, then wouldn't they know where the hurricanes are? I don't know. Which model is more reliable, the Euro or the GFS? They both have great moments and they both have really dumpster fire moments. So to that point, yeah. Okay, so BSR, Mickey's asking. I popped this up yesterday. Give me 2 seconds. Interact. Stop. All right. BSR. Give me a second. Hit you. All right. BSR. Of course, I don't have my phone on me, but I could just tell you the BSR is showing that indicator right there around the 7th/8th of August, plus or minus a couple of days. So the BSR is showing a Gulfish impact. Yeah. So there you go. BSR is showing something as well. Yep. Futurecast did a great job for Melbourne with Ian. Can't wait to see what it says. Oh, yeah. Once Futurecast is in range, it's going to be particularly interesting to watch. Tony and Jane and I have known each other for very long. Love it. Love it. Great people. They're great. They're great. Tony's like my really annoying older brother or like a step brother that you just want to give noogies to. I don't know. That kind of a thing. All right. Questions, comments, concerns about things? Yeah. Can the timing change by a lot on this if it does form? We have 9 family members coming to stay for a week. Yeah, I mean, I would say that, the more time goes this week, we're going to have a better idea. So what? Today's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So by like Wednesday, Futurecast is going to start dialing into this, and so we'll have a better idea. But remember, with having nothing formed yet, models are just not going to do a great job. It's tough. It's tough for computer models to initialize when there's nothing there yet. So the fact that they are is why the Hurricane Center has this 30% likelihood of development. Debbie's asking, you flying tomorrow? No, I'm flying on Monday. Tomorrow is, so interestingly enough, I don't know. There's certain things that sometimes just work out. So my son's birthday, my second son's birthday is on August 2nd. Okay. So August 2nd, we're not celebrating his birthday, and kind of a good reason because, if this has anything to do with it, I may be working a little extra. So we're actually celebrating my son's birthday tomorrow. So tomorrow, not flying, instead, doing the birthday celebration thing. I can't believe he's going to be 4 years old. So yeah. So flying on Monday. So Coffee Talk Monday, we're going to figure it out. Maybe super early. We'll figure it out. Yeah. Yukon says, hey, it amazed me that we can see nothing out there and can forecast something, even if the track is so big. I agree, man. Like just the sheer fact that there's nothing out there and yet the models are picking up on something and we're able to forecast like this, that's amazing. And I feel like we should be appreciative of that. Just like my long range forecast isn't going to be perfect. But it's amazing that it's anything, to me at least. We'll celebrate with you, Mickey. Yeah. Changing your plans, you know more than you're saying. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Kurt, I'm changing all my plans. I know more than I'm saying. Start analyzing my watch and see that it's accurate. He taped it. This is a lie. This is all a lie. Good gravy. All right. Questions, comments, concerns. See you, Ping. It says 8:33 over my shoulder. That's how you know it's live. What does my watch say? 8:33. It's live. Actually, it looks like a 6, but it's 8:33. All right. Any other questions, comments? Because I'll share it all with y'all. I got you. I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you. Yeah, still waiting for those lot. Yeah, if you find those lottery numbers, you let me know. Next, Eric is flying a Mooney to the moon. Just want to take a Mooney up and not to the moon. I'll just take it around Florida. What are the chances coming our way? It's too early to tell yet. In terms of things, we're just watching and waiting. There's a graphic I built forever ago. It's like the tropical timeline. Oh man, it's gonna take me forever to find this thing. Have to dust off all of the hurricane graphics. Day I Gewalt. It's like a process. It's like this many days out, do this many days out, do this. I'm gonna have to dust off all this stuff because in the event that it does want to come here, then I'm gonna have to, we're gonna have to start working these graphics out. So look, just like you, I'm just like you. I don't want this darn thing to come here either, right? But to give you an idea in terms of like development days, here's where we're at. X is where the storm system is right now. Okay, so based on that, okay, we're roughly, what are we? It says it's 8 to 10, but it's moving a little faster, so the potential is there for it to be more of a 7-ish days out, 7, 8 days out. But that's how long storms take to hit the United States normally from this spot. So, but that's not the graph. I'm gonna find the graphic. Days, like timeline. There's like a tropical timeline graphic. I'll find it. I hope I don't have to use it. I'll tell you that much for free. All right. Questions, comments, concerns, anything. Yes, Elizabeth. Very cool. Very cool. Do you go back and read the day's comment strings? I watch it live and then it's like, I just got to go. I got to move on with my day. Let the conspiracists spin their webs. Eventually, they can't keep up with their lives and spin. The truth is always easier to remember. Oh, yeah, for sure. I have a terrible memory anyway. Let's see here. Yeah. What'd I miss? A hurricane, a storm? What will you tell us for a price? Yeah, look, anyone can be bought. I'll tell you everything for the right price. Hint, I tell you everything and it's free. All right, questions. Otherwise, I'm done. I've got a kid's birthday to go to today, and then I've got to buy like 10 pizzas for tomorrow's birthday. I Gewalt. I got $1. Yeah, you got right. All right, is that it? We good? We good? Michelle, we need it to strengthen and go be a fish storm. I'd be totally fine with that. I have no desire to actually have to deal with any storms. The older I get, the more I'm like, well, this is not fun. Yeah, the Summer Games from Paris is on both your stations, and you're still at work. I don't know what's on CW18, but I don't think that the Paris games are on CW18. It's on NBC, but we still had a morning newscast, and I'm still doing coffee talk. So there you go. All right. All right. Listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. We'll be tracking the tropics next couple of days. All right. Be good. And I'm a nice guy. Somebody was like, he saved a person's life. He's a good guy too. It's like, yeah, that's Tony for you, right? Even though he's got glasses that have X-ray vision, and God only knows. Can you really live stream from those?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I can I don't know how to configure it, but like I can live stream on like Facebook from here.
That's wild. Technology is terrifying. All right, people. I'm going to go. I'll see y'all in the morning at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning from the house because I'm off, baby. All right. Be the sunshine in someone